Hello everybody, this is Krista from Adventures in Metaphysics, and today I have a very exciting walkthrough slash first impressions for you. Yesterday I finally picked up a copy of the Happy Tarot by Serena Fica, which is put out by Lo Scarabeo. Now I've been eyeing this deck for so long. Every time I see it in my local metaphysical store, I always pick it up and think about it, and for some reason just never get it. And when I go to purchase a deck, I like to do a lot of research. So I watch every flip through that's out there, try to see every card, and really be mindful about that purchase. And I did do that process for this and loved this deck, but I did that maybe a year and a half ago, so I don't remember what any of the cards look like. So I thought it would be fun if I saved looking through this deck to film. So the anticipation is really high right now because I brought the deck home yesterday and had so much self-control to not open it yet. So I've only taken off the plastic just so that I didn't make too much noise, but look at how cute these little characters. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. So let's just get right into it because I've made myself wait long enough. So it comes in just a regular tuck box, like most of Lo Scarabeo's decks. Ooh. I did miss some plastic, so you're gonna have to hear some of that. Okay, I had to go and get some scissors because I could not get that plastic off, but we finally have the cards out, so they come wrapped in plastic. And so we get a little white book that seems to, oh, I believe I've maybe had one other deck put out by this brand before, but they usually seem to put the interpretations in multiple languages. So this is a bit thicker than your average white book. But what I do like is that we do get some decent paragraphs, not just keywords. And another thing, if I'm remembering correctly, is that they tend to give these title cards, which I do really like because I keep a little magnetic chalkboard where I like to hang up all my little tarot extras, so that is going to look so cute on there. The Fool. How happy does he look? I love the idea that we're kind of jumping off this cupcake. It gives an even more sort of fresh, innocent feel to it. Another reason I was actually holding off, now I'm remembering now, holding off on the deck is that I think this tarot company tends to put pretty thick borders on the cards and gives the name in multiple languages, which I feel works for a lot of the styles of decks that they put out, but just really didn't fit this one. So they recently put out a new edition that got rid of those thick borders, which I really, really enjoy. And look at these card backs. I didn't even look at that. Oh my gosh, it's like a little purple moon. This deck is really reminding me of that game Candyland. I love that. The Magician. I love that we still get this little infinity symbol. I'm not sure if that's the correct name for it, but... And we have our 4 elements on the table here. Really cute. Oh my gosh. High Priestess. We have our pomegranates in the background. I like that she's pictured on a beach here. Usually we just see the ocean in the background, but we don't get what the floor is. But it almost gives her kind of a mermaid kind of feel, which from my understanding of mermaids, they do have that kind of air of mystery to them, which I think it really adds something cool. The Empress. That is so cute. I like the bunnies we have here. those are really, really nice symbols for the Empress as a sort of sign of fertility. The Emperor. This really does look like Candyland. That's all I'm going to think about now, but I do not hate that. The Hierophant. I love these two little figures. They look like those, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to think of the name. The friar monks? Question mark. I'm hoping that's the right name, but I probably completely messed that up. But I like that imagery here. The Lovers. Oh my gosh, look at that big smile on this guy's face. He is naked and he's proud. I love that energy. We even have the snake smiling here. I love this. The Chariot. Strength. I love how this looks like they're playing more than anything else, not that usual imagery of kind of takeover. I really think this deck is going to be nice to kind of have that sort of hug deck, because I like the idea. Usually I look at the Strength card as sort of defeating our own negative tendencies, I guess you can say, or kind of defeating those old patterns that we're stuck in. But I like the idea that you can be a bit more playful about it, because I know when I am sort of working through things, and my tendency is to 100% just make jokes about it. That's what this deck feels like. Sort of, we're going to work through some hard stuff, but it's okay to smile and crack jokes while we're doing it if that's what helps. I love that. The Hermit. The Wheel. Justice. I love all the little snacks at her feet. The Hanged Man. I like the sun imagery around him. I always see the Hanged Man as the episode from Gravity Falls, if you've seen that show. If not, I definitely recommend. It's such a fun cartoon. But there's an episode where one of the characters, Mabel, is feeling really embarrassed of her childlike tendencies. But throughout the episode, she discovers that the way she looks at things in a childlike way allows her to discover things that others might not have. And throughout the episode, the way she works on it is she just starts literally sitting upside down. And that's how she finds all these clues to this mystery they're working on, is she is actually looking at it upside down. So it's kind of that changed perspective and not being sort of embarrassed by looking at things in a new way and sort of being your authentic self, which is how I see the sun. I like that. Death. I like how we have this little kid, seems like he fell over. That probably sounds so bad for me to say, but that's that's really funny. Temperance. The Devil. That's interesting imagery, that it does seem like usually they aren't really actually attached to anything, but here they are. But the devil's kind of freestanding, so they're attached to this concrete block, but I kind of get the sense that the devil is not, if that makes sense. The Tower. Oh, all their snacks falling with them. I like that we get these really happy faces, but in the cards where it just absolutely does not make sense, we don't. That's what I was wondering, is if all of the cards were going to have those really, really happy faces. Hold on a second. Oh, no, okay. Oh my gosh, that totally seemed like Temperance to me. Okay, this star. She's covered by little hearts. That is so cute. This deck is childlike, but not at the same time. Or, you know, maybe childlike is the right word. Not childish, childlike. The Moon. The Sun. I love this. I do not usually like the classic Rider-Waite-Smith image where we have the naked baby on the horse. It just doesn't make that much sense to me. I can't connect to that. I guess I see where it can kind of be pointing to authenticity, but I just can't get past the oddness of that image. But it works here. It works with all these smiling, happy flowers, the smiling sun. It works. Judgment. I like this card. I usually do not like the Judgment card. It's one I get really stuck on, but I'm curious to see how this deck explains it. And the World. So cute. All right, so first we have Cups. Oh my gosh. The Ace of Cups. I love the lotus flowers down here. I'm not super familiar with that symbolism, but I'm going to have to look because that must mean something. I love that this cloud is sort of tossing the water out and it's coming with all these gems. Sort of like it's okay to show this new emotion, maybe the something getting started, is allowing yourself to pour those emotions over, whether they're good or bad. Bless you. My cat just sneezed. That was so cute. Two of Cups. Oh, they're making a little dessert together. Three of Cups. I love the Three of Cups card in any deck, but this is, of course, so cute. Look at the faces on those bunnies. Four of Cups. Again, we're not always getting those super, super happy faces where it just doesn't fit. I like that they have some of the cups hanging in this tree too. Sort of, and he could reach them if he tried, but it gives this feeling of, oh, I'm sitting down here, they're out of reach. But if he got up, he could take those down. He's just not noticing them when he's wrapped up in focusing on one thing. Five of Cups. Oh my gosh, it's like crying over spilled milk. But he's got these beautiful desserts behind him, but he's so focused that he spilled these ones. He's letting these, it looks like ice cream that's melting. He's letting this ice cream melt behind him that he could enjoy. Six of Cups. These characters look a little bit younger, which I like. Seven of Cups. It's like a little vending machine. What are you gonna choose? I love the black cat too. Eight of Cups. I like that this path seems really mythical in a sense. I realize none of this land or world is realistic, but I think that really stands out here because a way to look at the Eight of Cups is that you're kind of feeling bored with what you have in a way, and so you're looking for a way to move on, but thinking of this as kind of a non-existent or mythical path is that maybe you should be appreciating what you have behind you, and that you're not going to find anything on that other side that's more meaningful. 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups. I love the double families here. We've got the little family of the birds too. Page of Cups. Again, we have this cute little cat here. Knight of Cups. I love that. It's one of those little playground sort of bouncy toys. Queen of Cups. Oh, it looks like she has like a nice cup of coffee or something like that. Which is kind of a more mature drink, I guess you could say, but still a comforting one. And the King of Cups. Oh, he's got the same little mug. All right, we've got the Ace of Pentacles again with the cute clouds. Oh my gosh, but this one is green, which gives us the element there of earth. 2 of Pentacles. I love the little bit of a tempestuous ocean back there. It gives that idea that sometimes to get our balance right, it's going to get a little rocky. It's not always fun to have to set those boundaries. 3 of Pentacles. I love these little monk characters. That is so cute. 4 of Pentacles. Doesn't that just look like the most stubborn little kid? He's got his prizes and his toys and he doesn't want to share. 5 of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. 6 of Pentacles. It looks maybe not I don't know. It looks similar to the characters here. They've kind of found someone who's going to be a little bit generous and maybe help them out. 7 of Pentacles. 8. 9 of Pentacles. How beautiful is that card? 10 of Pentacles. It almost looks like these little children are here with their grandmother. I love that. Page of Pentacles. I like that he isn't shown on any sort of steed, I guess you could say, because I always see this page as being a lot slower moving. Knight of Pentacles. Oh, I'm getting mixed up. The pages aren't on any sort of horse or anything. This one still is like kind of a slower moving horse. It's a rocking horse, so he's kind of staying in place there. Queen of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. All right, we've got the Ace of Wands. The pink for the fire suit. The colors definitely do carry throughout, which I really, really like. 2 of Wands. I love the little like marshmallow roasting sticks. 3 of Wands. 4. It looks like these are kind of like bells almost. I like the music we have swirling through there. 5 of Wands. Ooh, these guys look a little angry. It's kind of like competitiveness, but when it maybe you know, when you're playing as a little kid and it does go like a little bit too far, you don't mean to take it seriously, but you kind of do. 6 of Wands. 7 of Wands. 8 of Wands. We just have this candy flying through the air. 9 of Wands. That's interesting, the worry. You can see the worry on his face. And the 10 of Wands. That's kind of interesting. I realize these images aren't the same, but it's kind of seeing the 9 of Wands as, oh my goodness, I have all of these ideas or tasks in front of me. Should I pick one? Should I pick all of them? And the 10 of Wands showing us what's going to happen if you try and pick them all up at once. It's not going to be easy. The Page of Wands with the lollipop, kind of like the little lollipop guild from The Wizard of Oz. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. I like that we have the sunflower. And the sleeping cat. I love the cats in here. Oh my goodness. King of Wands. And now we're onto our swords, which are this blue teal color. You've got the Ace. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Very classic Rider-Waite-Smith images on these. 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords. You can get two ideas from this. You can look at it in the classic way where these characters back here maybe were distracted by something or looking for someone or something, and while their backs are turned, he's kind of taking their swords away. But to look at it in a more positive way, these characters really look like they're searching for something. Maybe they lost something or someone, and maybe this guy's trying to be helpful, picking up their swords to bring along to them so they don't lose them. 6 of Swords. I like that we have these wooden swords too, the play swords. Makes it a little less intense. 7 of Swords. He looks like he's sleeping there. Huh. 8 of Swords. I like the idea that she's standing in water here. It gives the idea that maybe what's trapping you is your own emotion, not really anything external. 9 of Swords. Oh. And 10 of Swords. Oh, the cat looks so worried. Or maybe he's smiling. That would be very classic cat if it was actually smiling. Oh. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. This one we get a live looking horse, which makes a lot of sense because the Swords Knight tends to give the sense that it's the fastest moving. It really is charging forward. Queen of Swords. And the King of Swords. That deck is so much fun. I think I'm going to shuffle and just do a little sample reading, but these deck backs, oh my goodness, are so cute. So I tend to hand over hand shuffle, or like I've mentioned, doing a weird mashing kind of motion like that, because I do not know how to shuffle. Alrighty, let's see what kind of message we get here. we have the High Priestess, 2 of Cups, 3 of Wands. To me, this seems to be speaking to the kind of relationship we're building with ourselves, with our own internal world. Starting on some kind of journey, maybe to build a better relationship with sort of who we think we are, our own perception of ourselves, and learning to trust our intuition, trust our guts, and kind of believe in our own ideas and look to ourselves as our own biggest support, our own biggest partner, and kind of how to get started on that kind of journey. I really love how these read. They shuffled super, super easily. The cardstock is really nice. And I just love the bright images, the bright colors. This really is a happy tarot. But it really doesn't seem like it holds back, which I really, really enjoy. So that was a first impressions and walkthrough of the Happy Tarot. I hope you all enjoyed. I will link where you can find this deck, but I'm sure it's right on Amazon or probably even maybe Barnes & Noble, but I will put some links below, and I will also link our Instagram if you want to check out some of our images and what we post there. And feel free to subscribe and like our video if you would like to see more from us.